Will in Blakesley, Pennsylvania, listening on Sirius Satellite Radio. Hey, Will, what's up?
Hey, Tom, how are you?
Good.
The thing with David Gregory and Rand Paul, my takeaway was, Rand Paul was just doing what Rand Paul is going to do, of course, as a, right-wing, Republican,
Right.
But I'm beyond anger with David Gregory. It's just, he is what he is. He's a shill. He's shilling for the GOP. And basically, I think what he did is he just fed, wink, wink, Rand Paul this quote-unquote question because he knew that Rand Paul wanted to talk about this nonsense, and I wouldn't be surprised if they had it set up prior to the, getting the so-called interview even taking place.
Well, and the other thing is, you have to understand the media business. We no longer have real news. The death of the Fairness Doctrine in 1987 and then the Telecommunications Act in 1996 put an end to real news. Radio and television stations and therefore radio and television networks no longer have to program actual news reports in order for radio and television stations to keep their licenses. So what we have now is infotainment. So from the point of view of the producers for David Gregory's show, the question in their mind is, how do we get a segment of this show to go viral? How do we get millions and millions of people to listen to it, watch it, talk about it? How do we, how can we get Hartmann to talk about this show on his show so that we get more publicity? And so let's, and how do we get it in the New York Times, and how do we get it in the Washington Post, and how can we get it so that we can even be talking about it, so that MSNBC and NBC will talk about what happened? And the answer, of course, is do something outrageous. And so they, you're right. David Gregory essentially put the words in his mouth by quoting his wife's statement back to him. And what's he going to do? Disagree with his wife on national television? I don't think so. Will, thanks for the call. And well, good point, but it should remind us about the sorry state of our media.
You're listening to the Thom Hartmann Program. Call 866-987-THOM.
And that the sorry state of our media is a consequence of Reagan deregulating and then during the Clinton administration, massive lobbying by the industry.